Less than 2 weeks left in the legislative session, and the stakes are high because of an escalating conflict that could significantly impact the future of health care in our state. The Mayo Clinic is threatening to pull $4 billion in investments out of Minnesota if the Democratic-controlled legislature passes 2 bills focused on staffing levels and health care costs. Supporters argue the bills will prioritize patient care over profits. But the Mayo Clinic argues it would create an inefficient bureaucracy that would severely limit their flexibility to hire the staff they need and to invest in new equipment and technology. So what happens if the bills pass? Jennifer Hoff looks at the impact it could have on our state.
Rochester, Minnesota, the state's 3rd largest city, in part to the Mayo Clinic, founded 150 years ago after a deadly tornado where Dave Senjum would work for decades, also serving as a state senator turned Olmsted County commissioner.
What would Rochester be without Mayo Clinic?
Just about everything that you see as you drive into Rochester is about Mayo Clinic.
Mayo is ranked a top hospital, raking in more than $16 billion last year with more than 2,000 beds and nearly 50,000 employees here alone. Now warning it may pull back some $4 billion in investments in the state. Senjum saying the threat is not an empty one. In an email to the governor last week, Mayo's lobbyist expressed frustration with 2 bills the Minnesota Nurses Association says would require hospitals to form committees to mandate staffing levels, defining a number of patients each nurse can care for, along with an affordability board to tackle rising healthcare costs.
They exist to be the best healthcare center in the world, and by all accounts, they are. And they also, in terms of getting to that status, they have to be able to manage their own organization. So the idea that a legislative body would begin to suggest to them how to run nursing staff or what their fee structure should be is frankly out of reach in terms of acceptability.
The nurses union says these reforms are long overdue, but 62 leaders from every nonprofit hospital in Minnesota signed a letter telling lawmakers the proposed legislation is detrimental.
All of them are warning that we could be forced to shutter services at our hospitals if we don't get relief from the bureaucracy, from some of these mandates, and also some financial help.
The Minnesota Hospital Association says it's focusing on recruitment and millions in loan forgiveness to fill the 5,500 open nursing positions. But losing billions would be an economic hit to our state. Senjum saying Mayo may funnel the money instead to its Florida and Arizona campuses, and Rochester would lose its flagship status, putting a damper too on a 20-year initiative to invest in infrastructure. The hospital contributing $934 million. The legislature long ago approving $585 million and another $500 million in private funds, cementing its status as a destination medical center and a more booming economy.
The biggest thing, I think, since with respect to Mayo, since the tornado in 1883. And I just hope that the legislature and the governor think this thing through a little bit and find a solution.
In Rochester, Jennifer Hoff, KARE 11 News.
Mayo has not offered specifics about its expansion plans or where that money might go, but it does have international projects in London and Abu Dhabi.